Welcome to this edition of the PCRIC Conference, taking place at Domus Viaduct Guest House, 7 Ore Street, off Toyin Street, Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank you very much, sir. You did not make a mistake when you say Wikimedia or Wikipedia. Don't think that you have made an error. If you said Wikipedia, if you said Wikimedia, it's the same thing, but in different context. Wikimedia, it is the foundation that is supporting the project called Wikipedia. Just like you have Nigerian Bottling Company and you have Coca-Cola. You know, Nigerian Bottling Company is the owner of Coca-Cola. Wikimedia Foundation is the owner of Wikipedia and other 17 related projects. So, oftentimes, it's just I don't know how to relate to that case. When you have a child that is more popular than you, Wikipedia is so much popular globally than Wikimedia. So, when you say Wikimedia, I say, what are you talking about? The same way it's happening in Nigeria is happening all over the world. And the idea to create a community around Wikipedia started then.
Welcome to this edition of the PCRIC Conference.
I prefer being on the streets because of the lives I see, the reactions, the everyday people I see on the street. It inspires me. So that's why I took it upon myself and let me tell a story. The story in a way that other people have not been saying it or telling it, or the way they are telling it. Let it be different. Let it be how they are, how I see them. So that's why I brought out that slogan of as I see them. So it's not something that I will struggle to tell story. I will struggle to say what I see. So I want it to be how I see, so that anybody that see the images, they will know that yes, indeed, this person, he knows what he's doing. Yes, he's saying it the way it is. You know, we are in Lagos, so why will I say something that when you look at it, you say, is this Lagos? Do you understand? So you expect to see some elements, some nuances, some all this traffic, all this hawking, all this rush hours, you know, all those kind of things. So because of that, I like, okay, you know what, let my images project all these things. So at the end of the day, when I'm on the street, maybe the look of the structures of the buildings, the architecture side of it, and the human being, the color, the texture, the look, the characters, all these things, when I look at all of them, so how will I be able to frame it with that busy things on the street, the nuances on the street? So that period that I will not lose it out. So all this thing drives in my head, drives in my body. So what I do, I open myself up, I open my spirit up to connect to the natural ambience, to connect to the atmosphere, so that everything is happening, the sound, the noise, is it from the car, from the bus, or is it from the human being, you know, all those things, the music that is playing, you know, sometimes you are passing and you get to a place that is like you are doing party, but they are not doing party. It's just a musical instrument seller that is trying to project what he's selling by attracting the people's attention through the music is playing. So you know all those kind of things. So causing what I call noise pollution, you know all those kind of things. So most of my work, the video, the pictures, you see all these things, it's embedded in any of them. Do you understand? So sometimes I get to some streets, everything is just working out good, like the way our government they used to say mega city, Lagos is mega city, Lagos. So sometimes you get to some places you're like, is this really the mega city? But some places you get to, oh, it's like the mega city is happening already. Why, as you don't move from that place, maybe 20 minutes walk, you just find out that anything. This is how I see like it. You get to Boston, you see the way Agbo, they are.
Thank you, but you can do it better. You can do it better. Corporate organizations have structures. They are wary of people who do not have structures. And one of the things I've found out, or we found out in the last few years with photographers is because people focus more on the art, they forget about structure. Because they focus more on the art, they forget about business. And when you don't focus on business, you don't think of a system. And when you don't think of a system or have a system, people who have systems are scared of you because they see you as chaos. There's no understanding of who you are, and then they want to do business with you. There's also brand credibility and prestige. When you work with them, there's this element of credibility and prestige. You know, imagine I say send me your portfolio. You send me naming ceremony, and somebody sends me a portfolio that has group head of Dangote, Bua, and all that, and I'm supposed to give a job of 2 million naira. Please, who do you think I'll give the job to? It's simple math, Abi? The other guy, right? So that's it. So it gives you that portfolio enhancement. You know, a lot of them, when they use your work, they want to credit you. Like what Wikimedia explained now. I know I've contributed a couple of things on Wikimedia. I have someone who is 2 or 3 people who are in the present administration. I did their images for Wiki, and Wiki insisted I have to send, you know, sort of release license or sign their common place at the common something license, which I did. And for a lot of time, they've used those content platforms, magazines. I've used it for editorials, books, and all of that. They've all credited me, and you know, it gives you know that visibility, you know, that drives you, you know, as a business and as an individual. Then it gives room for diversification of services. Now, what does that mean? The probability that if you serve a company and all they've been calling you for is more of press conferences. Probability that when they want to do a corporate headshot, they will call you first is almost 1. Probability that if they decide to sponsor a football tournament, they will call you to go and document it, even though they are not sure whether you can or you can't. Probability that they will call you first is almost 1. So it gives you room to be able to diversify, you know, as you continue to work with corporate organization. Unlike when you're working with an individual, they know you for this, come and do my birthday shoot, that's all. So understanding the corporate culture and the brand image is very important. There are some brands you dare not. You're working with an MTN now, you decide to use green. That's the end. Or use red. For anything. Even when you are giving them flash drive, you bring a red flash drive. That's the end. You're shooting with a Spotify. They don't want you to take picture of people standing like this. No. It's a music brand. It's live. It's energy. It's fun. It's all that. So they want to see people screaming, ah! People running like, ah! So the moment you understand the unique photography needs of this corporation, it helps you. You want to take a picture for Uber. They tell you to do a commercial. You take it in front of a train. Like, okay, what has train got to do with Uber? Another thing is customizing your photography service to align with corporate branding and messaging. When you're dealing with corporate clients and you tell them they'll get their files in 1 hour, 1 hour, 2 minutes is a problem. By the time you are 1 hour, 10 minutes, forget about it. It's crisis. When people say send in your portfolio, like, please, your portfolio has nothing to do with what you like. I beg you in the name of God, take care of that girl. See the way she did that like this. It has no relevance. You see, if you have 200 pictures, you see the best one. That's the new one you send. You see the 99 rubbish, just leave it. Always put your best foot forward. And it's not just to do with who you are or what you like. For corporate clients, they're specific. This is what we want, this is what we want. You want to shoot the commercial, you want to show me you can shoot fashion. What's the fashion got to do with the fact that I'm looking for commercial? I want to shoot somebody who knows how to shoot on the street and doing documentary for me. You are showing me that you shoot wrong way. So the way you present, a lot of people say, oh, go to my social media. No. Every photographer must have a portfolio. How many of you have portfolios here? Ready. If I say I have a job for you now, thank you, man. I know you will. You understand? If I say I need to send you a job to someone, send your portfolio now. How many people have portfolios? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you. They are dealing with multiple countries at the same time. They need to make decisions
Welcome
fast.
to this edition of the PC.
The worst thing you can do for yourself is not to be ready. You must always be ready as a photographer. You must always be ready as a creator. You can't be caught unaware. Whatever you need, you must make it readily available. Whether you're doing corporate photography, whatever photography, you must be ready. I have most of my work in PDF. So when a client says, hey, I have it in the cloud. So once you say, I need a portfolio now, before you say now, I've clicked on it in the cloud, clicked on the link, sent it to you, deal with it. I'm done. Less than 2 minutes, you know everything about me. You know what I will charge you, you know how I will charge you. You make your decision then and there. You move on. Very important that you continue to evolve. You continue to improve. You continue to adapt. The world continues to evolve. What photography was 20 years ago is not what it is now. It's not what it was 5 years ago. It's not what it's going to be in the next 1-2 years. If you do not evolve, you cannot. It's not, I'm not cursing you. You cannot succeed. Pentax. Ask them. The Canon that people thought were stupid. Look at where Canon is. Canon currently owns almost 60% of the global photography market, both DSLRs and mirrorless. Evolution. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr.
Next on the panelists, I have Mr. Makonjola Ibrahim. Mr. Makonjola Ibrahim is an accomplished tour operator, guide tour, and a recipient of the prestigious Top 100 Tourism Personalities in Nigeria. Mrs. Alaba Igarola started her journey in the field of photojournalism. For you, as a photographer in tourism, what has the experience been like?
I got to be involved in tourism photography by virtue of my passion for photography. And over time, let's say 80% of Nigerian photographers are majorly on events. We only have few people that specialize in editorial. We have few people that specialize in architecture. But I just love tourism. One, if you go into tourism as a photographer, it allows you to have more understanding about your community.
Talking about tourism, talking about photography. I know if there's a picture of White House on the screen here, I know most of us might not have been to White House, but with the way we see it, we can relate that this is White House. If they want to replicate or want to showcase Lagos, if they want to talk about Lagos, is it that people bring pictures of yellow buses or pictures of the Link Bridge, Ikoyi Link Bridge, and other things? Using pictures, they're using photograph to connect and to market this destination. And that's why I always tell people, when you go to places, there's no how they will know you've been there without proof. It's more like saying you've been to UK. You've been to UK, okay, how can you show us that you've been to UK? What's the proof that you've been to UK? It is picture. So, picture and tourism is something, as I said, is something that goes interwoven. There's no way you could travel and you won't want to create experiences. There's no way you could travel and you want to create content for your social media.
Mrs. Alaba, you are a photojournalist, and
you have to be active, and you need to be capture the pictures that tell stories, and ethical framework in the work.
Okay, sorry ma'am, before we begin to go into other detailed areas, because I just wanted to lay the foundation of what these things are: tourism, photojournalism as related, because I understand that our audience, they are a mix of photographers, you know, and it is important that we are able to relate when they begin to talk. So that's why we had to quickly trash that foundational issue. So very quickly, let's now go to the business aspect, because that is the next thing, and that is what people want to actually hear, you know. So we're talking about the profit-driven mindset. So please ma'am, can you help pass the mic back to Mr. Olalekan? All right, Mr. Olalekan, while you were introducing tourism, you did mention a striking word. You said it's challenging, and you also said, in spite of the challenges, it was your passion that drove you into it. So now yes, passion. What keeps you on apart from passion? Because passion won't pay your bills. Passion won't buy your equipment. I'm sure you are into it for business.
You've said it that passion doesn't buy clothes. Passion can't give me money to pay for Uber. But to be candid with you, I have other things that I do that finance my passion.
Okay.
Now, our mommy here talked about the photojournalism aspect. I do some editorial shoot for individual newspapers, private owned newspaper. Networking with the right people that need what you have.
Yes.
That's the challenge that we photographers have. We don't network. And he said something again which is very key. He cut across every field or every area of photography. We don't go back. As in, we don't go back to our clients and say, okay, how are you? How are you doing? How's everything? So, and another thing we don't do as a photographer is because we are more concerned about which is very important. What will be my gain? What am I going to sustain with? We photographers doesn't volunteer because we want money. But let me tell you today, if you're under my voice, volunteering give you an edge to meet with the right client that you need, especially when you volunteer in the area of your other passion. Okay. So those are the things that I do that give me leverage to really utilize the opportunity in my tourism photography by selling my image.
All right, thank you.